Cassie, you got some Kleenex? Okay, you got some. Okay. Oh, there's some right there. That's fine. Ready to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. You are Megan McGovern?
Yes, sir.
Do you go by Meg?
Yes, sir.
Please tell the ladies and gentlemen of this jury, Miss Meg McGovern, a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, and what you're doing right now, please.
I'm currently a junior at the University of South Carolina. I'm getting my, I'm studying early childhood education. And yeah, what else? I'm a nanny. So I nanny for mainly one family, but I also help out with another family one other day of the week.
So you're from Greenwood.
Yes, sir. I was born and raised in Greenwood.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Greenwood High.
Not to pry, but I can't help it. When'd you graduate?
2022.
Then you went to Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And you're now a,
Junior.
have you got your major yet?
Yes, I'm doing early childhood education.
If you said that, I'm sorry. And are you living in Columbia
Yes, sir.
year-round?
Yes, sir.
And your folks are here with you?
Yes.
Front row? Other family members? You still stay in Greenwood some?
Yeah, occasionally.
Now, back during high school, well, let me, in May 6th of 2023, how old were you?
19.
Okay. How old are you today?
20.
Back in high school, you mentioned nanny, babysitting, or did you do some of that in high school?
Yeah, I was a babysitter for the Ackermans. I was there multiple times a week. I'd pick them up from school, take them to activities, stay there on the weekends.
And if you would slow down just a little
Sorry.
bit.
I would stay there on the weekends some. I would pick them up from school. Was there multiple times a week. I went on family vacations with them. So I went to Florida a couple times, the Virgin Islands with them, and then some other like beaches in South Carolina as well.
So you would babysat for the, and would that be Bud Ackerman and Meredith Ackerman at the time?
Yes, sir.
You babysat for them?
Yes.
Did you pick up the kids some?
Yes.
And you went on these trips you talk about, you'd actually go with them to babysit while they were vacationing?
Yeah, I'd go with the families to with the family to the beach to babysit.
And so you got to know them pretty well?
Yeah, I was there a lot.
Okay. So in May of 2023, you would have been,
19.
okay, and where were you in school?
I just finished my freshman year and I just got home about like a week or two before.
And were you going to stay home that summer before last?
So I was kind of up in the air. I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to stay in Greenwood for the summer or move to Beaufort. And then I ended up deciding to move to Beaufort.
Are you familiar with Hunters Creek subdivision?
I am. I live in Hurst Creek as well.
Okay, so you live there.
Yes.
And where did the Ackermans live when you were babysitting from?
They lived on Tally-Ho, and I lived on Palmer Place, and it was about a 2-3 minute drive.
Okay, so these folks may know, but they may not. Where is Tally-Ho?
If you go in the main entrance of Hunters Creek with like the fountain, I want to say it's like the first left, that road. It might be not the first, I'm not exactly sure, but if not, it's right at the front.
So it's also in Hunters Creek subdivision?
Yes.
Well, let's go right to it, to May 6th of 2023. Do you remember what you were doing that day or that evening?
So it's actually babysitting for a wedding that night for a completely different family. And so I'd gotten home kind of later, so I was at my house. I was actually taking a bath and watching a movie, and my friend Drew Strickland calls me, and she asked me if I could pick her up. So I went and picked her up from one of our friends' houses, and then we were going through the cookout line just to get some food, and that's when I get a phone call and from Abby. And
who is Abby?
She's one of Mary's friends, but at the time I was really confused because I didn't know who she, like why I had this contact in my phone. I was like, who is this? So I was really confused. So I was like, well, obviously I have their contact, so I'll answer it. And I answered the phone, and it was Meredith. And she was really upset and was.
Your Honor, we object to anything she said. You said.
Okay. Don't testify as to what someone told you. As a result of having a conversation with whomever, you can testify what happened.
So
Can you say can you describe her demeanor on the phone without the words with Meredith?
what do you mean by that?
Was she upset?
Yes.
Okay. As a result of that phone call, what'd you do?
I went to Abby's house to pick up Meredith.
Okay. So first of all, whose car are you in?
We're in my car.
Okay. Tell the folks what kind of car that is.
I drive a 2010 Ford Escape.
And you say we. Who's in the car with you when you go to to pick up Meredith?
Drew Strickland.
Okay. And Drew, that's a she. She's a friend of yours.
Yes.
So you left the cookout line,
Yes.
got a call from Meredith, and went to pick her up.
Yes, sir.
Where did you go pick her up?
From Abby's house. It's in a little neighborhood. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's like in the middle of the road that's going between Key West and the Blood Connection. It's one of those little neighborhoods.
You said Key West and what?
The Blood Connection.
Blood Connection.
Yes, sir.
And did you get to that residence and did you see Meredith?
Yes, they were waiting outside.
Okay. And what did you do, if anything, with Meredith?
She got in the car and we talked there for a second, and she was making phone calls, and we talked and Abby was talking to us for a little bit, and then we eventually went to Hunter's Creek.
Okay. And had Meredith told you that's where you needed to go?
Yes.
And was it your understanding that's where the defendant and Davis McClendon were going to meet?
Yes, sir, that's what I was told.
Objection. That's it.
We're not offering for the truth of the matter asserted.
Right.
Move to strike.
Okay. I overrule the objection. I don't think it's offered for the truth of the matter asserted, and I'll overrule the objection.
Where did y'all go?
We went to the intersection.
Specifically?
We went to the intersection of Abbott and Sawgrass.
Okay. Had you been there before?
I have.
And when you're coming off, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen, when you come in Hunter's Creek, how do you get there?
So because there's 3 entrances to Hunter's Creek, so you can honestly get there from multiple different ways. But we came in that front entrance, like I said, where the fountain is and all of that. And
I'm going to show you what states 12. Can you see it?
yes, sir.
When you say you came from the front entrance, can you depict that on stage 12?
So no, you can't see the entrance from this one.
Okay, go ahead. You came in the front entrance and where?
Yes, of Hunter's Creek. So then we came down. So I came out from, depends on how you look at it, but the left, I would say.
Okay.
Not the old Abbeville side.
Okay.
I pulled it on the other side.
You came in from the other side.
Yes.
Did you turn down Avid?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've been on Avid before.
Yes.
As you're coming down Avid, you, Drew, and Meredith in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do as you were driving down Avid Road?
When we get there was only one car. And so I asked, I was like, there's only Davis's car.
Let me stop you there. You're on Avid and you say there's only one car. Could you see that car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe, did the car have its lights on?
Yes.
Okay. You just said that's Davis's car. Could you tell that was his car from just looking at it?
I knew it was Davis's car because I knew it wasn't Bud's truck.
Okay. And you said there's just one car here?
Yeah, I was like, should we still go down? And so then we went down and I stopped right beside Davis's car.
And let me stop you. Did you have any trouble seeing Davis's car as you pulled down to that intersection?
Not at all.
Okay. Where in the relations to Davis' car did you go and stop?
I stopped right beside it.
Okay. Did you hit it?
No, sir.
Okay. Could you see it?
Yes.
Did you have your headlights on?
Yes, sir.
You're now stopped. What did you do next?
So we realized that Davis wasn't in the car. So they were calling, Meredith was calling Davis to see like where he was. And that's when I realized that the airbags were out, but at the time I didn't know that they were airbags because I've never like seen that before. So I was like, there's something like on the side of his car, and then that's when I like really started paying more attention to his car, and that's when I noticed that his tire had been hit. So that's when we got out the car, and like we were looking in it, didn't see him, and so I started looking around. And that's when I was like, guys, like, don't freak out, but there is a body over there. And so my friend Drew Drew stepped up and was like, it's Davis. And so then I immediately called the police and ran over there towards them.
And when you say call the police, did you call 911?
Yes, sir.
An agreement between the parties, Your Honor, that conversation, 911 was kept out for the record.
Okay, so noted for the record.
State court's indulged.
Sure.
May I approach, Judge?
You should can.
I'll show you what's been marked. States 3 through 11, 3 through 11, and 13, 14, and 15. And I just want to ask you, do you recognize these, and do they relate to what you're talking about right now? Which way you look them up.
Yes, sir.
No, this time we'd offer states 3 through 11 and states 13, 14, and 15.
What says the defense?
Your Honor, I just want to record reflect that the photos that I'm not objecting to are based upon agreement between the state and I as to what would be admissible in the trial,
Okay,
based upon rulings of the court.
okay, all right. States 3 through 11, 13 through 15, and evidence for the state.
Thank you. Now, Ms. McGovern, I think you testified initially that you recognize that as Davis McClendon's car.
Yes.
Is that the car he drove?
Yes, sir.
And how did you know that was his car? I don't mean just this night. How do you know he drove that car?
Because I've been with Davis and Meredith before in the past.
Okay. So you knew what car he drove?
Yes.
And I think you testified that you initially noticed an airbag. Do you see
Yeah.
that in this picture?
Yes, sir.
Would it help you to come step down and talk in this microphone or not?
I think I can see fine.
I believe you also testified you saw some damage to this car. That picture I just showed you was states number 4. This is states number 5. States 3, I apologize. You said you saw some damage to Davis McClendon's car. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
States 14. Maybe you had testified earlier, you came down, where's your car in this picture?
My car's the one on the right with both of the doors open.
States 13. You recognize States 13?
Yes, sir.
As you're driving down Avid, is that what you saw?
Yes.
States 15, please. You got it. Does that appear to be an overhead picture of your car and Davis's car?
Yes, sir.
If I could call your attention, and again, not prying, I don't mean to see away, but are you familiar with this intersection?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not implying this, but was that a gathering place for some folks?
Yes.
Or used to be?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the main reason that the gate was put up.
Well, that was my next question. Why was this, can you tell us what this is right here?
That's the gate.
Okay, and it was put up why?
Because it was in Maine, like, it was known for a place that people would meet up.
Okay. So, were you and your car that night able to drive past that gate?
No.
You couldn't have gone past it?
No, sir.
I think in your testimony now, and I didn't want to interrupt you, I want to get that out of the way. You've now seen this car, the airbags, then you didn't see a body. Or Drew saw a body or something. What happened after that?
That's when I called the police, and I let them know that where we were, and that Davis had been badly injured, and I wasn't quite sure if he was alive or not.
Did you touch him?
Yeah, so the 911 operator asked for me to try and wake him up. So I was having to shake his arm and tap him. Ask him to see if he would wake up. To try and see if he was alive or conscious or anything.
And is that you in States 11?
Yes, sir.
I know you're not a doctor or paramedic, but he appeared to be dead to you?
Yeah.
And again, in States 11, can you see the gate right near where you are, where you're standing?
Yes, sir.
And is this Mr. Davis McClendon's body?
It is.
And here is States 10. Again, is that you in the position you saw Mr. McClendon's body in the early morning hours of May 7th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Can you describe his mouth?
He had blood coming out of his ears and his nose, and I'm not exactly sure if it was coming out of his mouth or not, because, I mean, there's just blood everywhere from his nose and everything. But his whole face was covered in blood.
And I'm not, but based on the time you had spent with him, you knew from just looking at him that was Davis McClendon?
Oh, yes, sir.
This is State 7, Ms. McGovern. Do you recognize State 7?
Yes, sir. Davis's head was like laid on that like a pillow.
So his head was on top of that.
Yes.
Just a couple of other pictures, just because we've got them marked. States 5. Does this show the airbag?
Yes.
States 9. That's Davis's car, and your car is already gone, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long did you end up staying there on the scene?
I didn't get to go home that night until probably like 5 in the morning.
And law enforcement had taken over the scene, basically, correct?
Yes.
That you weren't allowed to leave till they were, told you could leave, they were finished?
Yes, sir.
In States 8? And again, is this just another view from the above view of your car and Davis McClendon's?
Yes, sir.
And finally, States 6. I believe Davis McClendon's body had already gone, but did you recognize or see this on the scene that night?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
One of his shoes were off of his foot, and his shirt was at the bottom of it.
Okay. So when you saw Davis McClendon that morning hours, did he have his shirt off?
Yes, sir. His shirt was off.
Page, of course, no. Can you describe Meredith Ackerman and Al Haney's demeanor on the scene, or how was she acting without
Objection,
saying,
Your Honor, it's not relevant.
without saying what she said?
Whatever she observed,
Yes, sir.
I think that would be a proper question. You still objecting, Mr. Swerman?
Yes, sir, I just don't think it's relevant.
Okay. I'll allow it for whatever it's worth.
For generally not saying what she said, can you describe her demeanor, condition?
She was crying a lot, hysterically.
Did you talk to law enforcement that night?
I did.
And did you tell them your observations on the scene?
Yes, sir.
Beg course on.
Sure.
Judge, I think that's all we have now. Thank you.
Okay. Cross-examination.
Here goes, just a couple of questions, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. You spent a lot of time with the Ackerman family, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said you were kind of their nanny and picked them up from school, babysat for them, and you went on vacations with them?
Yes, sir.
How often did you go away with them? You recall?
I just went on like their yearly family vacation. And then a couple other times, like if we did like a day trip or something, I would attend.
But it was kind of a close-knit family, correct?
It was normally just me and Meredith and the kids. And, well, whenever we'd go on the day trips, but we were all there on the vacations, yeah.
Yeah, on the vacations. So, I mean, you observed a close-knit family. Well, it's either yes or no.
I mean, I don't know how, like, kinda? Yeah, I mean, kinda.
Okay. Did Bud go on the trips with the family?
He went to the beach, yeah.
Yeah. And he went to the Virgin Islands?
Yes, sir.
And wherever they went, as far as you know, he was there with his children
When?
on these trips?
Most of them.
I'm not talking about after they separated. I'm
I
talking
know.
about before they separated.
Yeah, I think there was one trip that he didn't go on, though. Like,
All right. And so the situation down there at the end of Avid Road, there's a gate there. You said it was a well-known place?
Yeah, that's why they put the gate there.
Okay. And who gathered there? High school kids, just people from the neighborhood?
Mainly like high school kids, I would
And
say.
you said you were there before.
I had just gone down there because I live in the neighborhood, so like I'd like gone down like Sawgrass and stuff, like with like driving around the neighborhood, but like I never like hung out down there or anything like that.
But you were aware of the area?
Yes.
Okay. And on the evening of May 6th, going over to the morning of May 7th, when you approached the end of Avid Road, going toward the gate, your lights were on?
Yes.
The BFW lights were on?
Yes.
Could you tell whether the high beams were on or the low beams?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Pardon?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
I think that's all I had.
Okay, redirect.
Judge, what do you mean by kinda got along? He asked you, what do you mean by kinda?
Like towards the end, obviously, I mean, towards like the divorce, there was like tension that,
Your Honor, I specifically asked a question about before, not after they separated.
I said during.
Okay, go ahead and answer the question.
There was like obvious tension between there. You could tell like things like weren't going how they should. So, it was kind of more of a hostile, no, I wouldn't say a hostile-ish environment. Just not always the happiest at that point.
And you witnessed that?
Yes.
That's all, thank you.
You recross?
No, sir.
You step down, ma'am. Free to leave the courthouse. You're more than welcome to remain with us.